Hello, my beautiful collective. Elsie here to give you a reading. I was just going to come here and drop just a regular all signs reading on you, but I thought maybe it's probably a good idea if we talk about Venus in retrograde, because there's going to be some specific, I think, scenarios and situations that are coming up for some of you that are going to be brought on because of this retrograde. Now, I am not your astrologer, my friends, and please go find an astrologer on this platform. There's so many beautiful astrologers that know what they're saying and doing. I'm going to give you the information, the crib notes from what I've been learning about it because I've been doing my own learning. So it says that it's not a good time for you to start any new cycles or relationships or, any new chapters that are going to, that you feel might, stand the test of time, because this period between the 22nd of July and September the 3rd is a temporary period where Venus goes into retrograde when it's time to clear out old relationships. And the fact that Venus is retrograding in Leo tells me that everything is going to become clear. So you're going to become clear on your relationships, things, matters of the heart, things like that. So whether you've got platonic relationships or love relationships, there's about to be some changes, I feel, or just that you're going over those with a fine-tooth comb because now you can see it all, right? So from July 22nd to the 3rd of September, it's probably not good. Look at that. Success. It's probably not good to start anything new. Because you could start it, maybe an ex comes back, right? That wants closure, and then you end up not letting them go. You end up having a relationship with them, and before you know it, at the end of the fall time, they're out because it was only meant to be temporary. So just be careful with the decisions that you're making and realize the energies that be if you're the person who is into that. I am that person. All right, here we go. We've got courage. We've got purity. So do all courageous things with good intention is what I read from that. Go ahead and be courageous, but be of good intent. Be of pure intent. Really be authentic with the way that you move through this period here. There's a lot of change, and I was just talking about that, right? I believe there's going to be a lot of change because look at that card. Look at all the colors. We've got purple. That's the violet is the third eye. The pink is I'm getting downloads. The blue is I need to speak it out. The green is my heart chakra. And it's all of it, right? There's so much change coming. I think you need to remember to be courageous, but also to be very honest and pure and forthright and authentic in all the things that you do and say in this period. We have healing chaos. See, that's what it is, right? So what I was talking about at the beginning. So Venus is coming to clean things up. Yeah. Healing the chaos of maybe, relationships that are broken or relationships that needed closure. You're probably letting go of whatever makes you feel chaotic. And you're moving forward. I love it. Going forward with a purification. It feels to me like it's like a baptism, right? It's a purification. That's what Venus retrograde is. It feels like it's helping you clean up and realize who really is your friend. You might be going through your Facebook list, I'm just saying, and making some cuts. I think that you're realizing that a lot of people are just sitting there in surveillance vans watching your life because they think maybe they don't have a life. But I feel like you are going to be letting people go, people who especially make you feel chaotic. These people might be the ones who start arguments with you to pull you out of your Zen zone, or there are people like that, right? They're like, I get it all the time as a reader and someone who other people see as quite spiritual. They try me, right? But they don't realize that I got Taurus as a sun and I've got Sagittarius in my rising. You try God before you try me. They don't get that part. I'm not religious. I don't follow anybody's rules. Maybe I'm on about that because maybe you aren't either, the one I'm connecting to. Don't follow anybody's rules. Loneliness. You know what? It does cause loneliness. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm never the person who's going to sugarcoat it. It says, I know that I'm never alone, but I want to say that this period is going to leave you lonely. But if you are going to a vibration where people are not willing to or cannot follow you for some reason, then you got to leave them behind. And that's the hard change about Ascension. that you become more aware. You start getting downloads. You start realizing that, you do have confidence in the way that you're moving in the world. And it feels like there's so much change and it can cause a lot of loneliness. But I'm going to tell you, as someone who experienced all that already, that this here is something you'll strive for. You will actually strive for this at some point. It's a beautiful place to be, choosing when you want to see people. And it's not even really being about lonely because it says I'm never alone. And the truth is that when you love yourself and you love to be with yourself and you don't require to be out in public telling people your story, posting stuff on Facebook, when you start living within you, it may be a little lonely for a time, but you know what? It's only the transitional time that's lonely because of all this that's going on. And it's the transition is always going to be lonely, no matter what it is, from job to job, from house to house. The transition is like, I got to do this all on my own for a bit before people come to find me again, whether that's in your new house or your new job. Figure out who I am. Okay. So I think you're supposed to be courageous here. I think that you're supposed to do all things sort of with an open mind, with purity, kindness. No matter, try and treat people in this way, even though you're in the midst of change. And I really think that's why this purity card is here. I always see it as being authentic or honest or always having good intention. Just because you're hitting I feel like for some of you with this purple here, that you're hitting a particular situation here. This is the third eye, that some of you are becoming aware. Really aware of your relationships, platonic or romantic, and some of them are not going to serve you. You're going to have the courage to make some good decisions. Tell me about purity. Got the Three of Swords. You got to have the courage to end some things. It's going to hurt. I'm not going to lie to you. I've had people in my life that I've had to turn away from because it was just a toxic situation. And, it feels like, Charlie's just showing me, it's like, I'm not a good swimmer. Why would I jump in? I'm not a lifeguard. And the person who's drowning is not willing to reach out for the right people to help them. It's like, it's all heartbreaking. It's terribly heartbreaking. When you're going through this purge here, of relationships, it's terribly heartbreaking, but not everyone can come on the path with you because you're open to the change and being lonely for a bit while the transition is happening. And not everybody's willing to do that. But the world in the reverse. Yeah. You're going to hesitate to close some of these chapters here, but I think in the end, it's going to be the change that you need. There's the Three of Pentacles. So I feel like you are possibly going to purge yourself of all the relationships that are stale and stagnant. I feel like you're going to start really looking at and analyzing the relationships in your life that have not grown past the Third Pentacle. Yeah. The ones, and it's, I heard it said, stop watering the plants to see which ones die. Like, are your friends going to pop up to water the plants? If they're not watering you back, then you're just the one who's feeding the dead plants. So it feels like that to me. It feels like you are looking at, maybe this person, I haven't heard from them in a year, but it's because I haven't reached out to them. Because you start realizing with clarity, you start realizing and having the courage to say, you never reach back. Then why would I bother? Yeah. But I think you're supposed to do it all in great kindness, Just say it's okay. We're not on the same path, and that's all right. It's okay. You'll be fine. We have the High Priestess. Yeah, it's time to just go quiet on some of them, I think. Quietly remove them from your list. Quietly remove them from your life. I feel like there's some things that are going to hurt your heart, but you know that you must go quiet on some of them and end it with others. There's going to feel for a while through this transition period here, my friends, it's going to feel like unfinished business. It is. You've got unfinished business with some of these people, and please try not to tell them your side of the story. Just make the changes. Make the changes that you need to make in order to move yourself forward. Because, if you've got people in your life who only try with you when you initiate it, Do you really need those people? You'll have to make those decisions over the next few months. Couple of months anyway. We have the 2 swords. There's some hard decisions coming, my friends. Hard decisions about which chapters am I going to close. Yeah. And you have to make the decision. You got to see things for what they are. You have to see those relationships that are no longer serving you. You have to see those relationships where people reach out to you only when they're in crisis, or only when they need a friend to bend their ear because something is going wrong in that relationship that they told you they don't have time for you because they're out with their relationship. It feels like you're going to have to make some tough decisions. You can't allow people to continue to keep the door open just in case they might need you for something. Romantic or platonic, family, whatever it is. I think you're going to start removing or changing some of the relationships that only made it to the 3rd pentacle. Friends, friends of friends. I just threw a card on the floor. Those people, friends of friends, people who, you go by some Facebook pages and they say they have 5,000 friends. Those are not your friends. I think you're going to start trimming the fat somewhere. Yeah, like you're going to kind of really look over things and figure out what you need and what you can change. And that is a place of loneliness, but it's a place of great change because it's beautiful. You're seeing everything from way high up, from the bird's eye view. You're getting the clarity that you need about the situation, about family or friends or loved ones. We have the Chariot. Yeah, you're going to make swift work of this. Somebody here has just been sort of waiting with the sword at the ready. It feels like. I feel like, this is predictions, like all of my readings are, and this may already resonate with you. You might already have these thoughts. I feel if that's you, that between now and probably maybe the end of September, that you're going to be making some major changes in your life as it pertains to your friendship circle. I think it's about to get very tight. And I think that you are leaving these friends of friends and people who don't support you in the pentacle world, the people who aren't really interested in growing this relationship past the 3 pentacles. I feel as though you're going to make changes here. Yeah. And they're going to be good changes. I think they're going to be good changes and right for you. Okay. What do we got here? The Empress. Oh, you're learning lessons. Boy, you are having some sort of an ascension here, because there's the courage. That's the Queen of Wands to me. That's the courage. The purity could be the Queen of Cups as well. Yeah. You are in some sort of an ascension. We have the Page of Swords. See, you're gathering information. Page of Swords is the student. And when the student is here, the teacher appears. That's what Charlie just said, but the Empress is a teacher. Is a spiritual teacher, a teacher of, is a parent, someone who loves to enrich the lives of others. Look at the Queen of Pentacles. That's 1, 2, 3 queens. Yeah, that's almost the 4th queen, and that's the Empress. All right, let's clarify a little. It is a lonely thing. It's normal. It's going to be a little lonely. You're going to have to let things go that you thought maybe had potential. It's going to be hard to decide which of those doors to close. The World card is in the reverse. But the thing is this, is I feel like I'm speaking possibly to someone who has a lot of fixed energy, because the World card is here, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, or Leo. And when the World is in the reverse, please know that when the reason people see the fixed signs as stubborn is because they will not be pushed to make an answer. They will not, of course, depending on the moon and the rising, but really, if you've got a lot of fixed energy, you're not relying on the people around the outside to make the decisions for you. You're moving at this really slow, because the World card in the upright is, I'm never going back there. I'm not doing that to myself again. So I feel like it's going to be a slow process for you, looking at every situation for what it is, knowing you have to end some, knowing you have to go quiet on some people. These are all going to be hard situations, because if you go, quiet on some because you don't really want to deal with having to break their heart, or, I feel like it's still going to remain as a decision that you have to make. It's never going to let you go. It's major arcana. It's going to linger. So if you avoid making these changes here, I feel like it's just going to linger and linger and linger, and it's going to drive you crazy. It's going to remain as a block for you until you do make the decision to move forward. Like you decide to have some victory, move forward, be a little more balanced in how you're making your decisions. It feels like planetary energy, like it's pushing you to make some big changes in your life here. I've also got Cancer energy here, so you could even love some of these people, be in love with them, or just love them in general. We got Piscean energy. Your gut's yanking on you to make some changes here, and it's time that you are going to make those changes. This Aries energy, so taking action, right? Taking action for the first time, stepping out front. Stepping out front of everybody. Look, I have all the aces in my hand. I am going to decide what I want to do. It's time that I do just that. We've got the Three of Swords. Gosh, it's going to be tough. Some of these conversations are going to be hard. And I'm not saying that you should start going through your list and starting fights with people. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that there's going to be the energy of, I really need to purge. And maybe the first time you go through your list, you're just cutting off people that, friends of friends of friends, people you met at the bar, people you met at a social gathering. And then after that, you get down to the nitty gritty, right? You get down to the 100 or so, or the 200 or 300 people that you really want to keep connected to. And I feel like some of these cuts break your heart. But I think you do move at it very slowly. We have the Eight of Cups, and we have the Knight of Cups. And so what I want to say is some of these, instead of making a decision, you're not going to approach everybody that you don't know and say, hey, I haven't spoken with you in a while. I think I'm going to cut you out. You don't ever do that, right? I think that you do it quietly. You do it silently. It starts with you pulling back your energy or disconnecting from the situation. And maybe people, first of all, that maybe broke your heart. Maybe you just go ahead and don't want to offend them by taking them off your list, but maybe you mute them, or, something like that, because it's heartbreaking situation. You are moving on. We've got 6 swords here. You do have to move on from some of these. I think that you've wanted to do this for a while, and so because you go into this Venus retrograde open to change, I think it comes to you. I think you manifest the change. I think you've been wanting the change, but I think that you're going to get a tap, tap, tap on your butt. I don't know why I did that just now. I think somebody's going to push you along. I think that the universe is sort of tapping you and pushing you along, like a moment at a time. I see like a 5-year-old who won't move forward, and somebody pushes them and they go another inch. That's what I'm seeing. So the Knight of Cups is here, right? So some of these are going to be romantic connections, romantic people that you might have feelings for, or that you think have feelings for you. Maybe people that you've dated that you haven't seen in a while, and it's time just to cut the list. And it's going to be some of those as well. You're going to be pulling away from some of those emotionally first, and then deciding whether they serve a purpose or not, or whether they're the ones who are willing to grow past the 3 Pentacles. Because I think you have a lot of people, these are acquaintances, right? This is a partnership, but it's an acquaintance. It's someone that you know over a table, or someone you know in the Pentacle world, someone who you're just maybe friends with, or maybe it's a friend of a friend. That's what I always get when I see the 3 Pentacles. Someone who's very cooperative nonetheless, and very collaborative, but I feel as though with you making the cuts, you're going to be like, who's my heart attached to? And I think you're going to start there. But others, I think you're just going to pull away until the World card brings everything to an end. Because you can't have conflict with all these people. Some of them you are going to have conflict with. Like, I think for some of them in the current energy here, I feel some of them you already are having conflict with them. And it might look like, that person, you might say to another person, did that person talk about the person I just think they talked about? And the thing is if they're doing it to someone else, they're probably doing it to you as well. And I think that the 5 swords is like, not being able to agree to disagree, or somebody who just irritates you because they'll never take a point of view that's not their own. It feels like you just pull away from those people. You just need your peace. It's all you want is your peace. All these changes, they do cause some loneliness. I'm just saying. Not gonna lie, but I'm telling you, after that, when you decide that you no longer people please or codependent or doing things that people ask you to do them when you want to do them because you're scared of them dropping out of your life, you just come to a place where you're just not scared anymore. When you get all this enlightenment, you welcome the change. When you get to this enlightenment, you welcome the change. And I'm telling you, not everybody is the Empress. Not everybody is there. A really easy way to tell if you're there or not is if you're the one reaching out to someone else about a relationship. If you are feminine leaning and you are terrorizing someone in text right now, trying to get them to notice you, you're not the Empress. The Empress doesn't chase. She doesn't chase abundance. She doesn't chase people. She doesn't have to. She's got all of that right here. She's confident within herself. All right. What's the challenge in this reading, please? The challenge is waiting. So, and I think that that's true because, like I said, some of these relationships you're going to have to wait and see. Some you'll just pull away from emotionally and they'll just kind of go away. But others, I think, they're attached to the heart space. And although it feels like, that you're moving on from some of those relationships, I feel like you're going to wait. I don't think you're going to be doing this tomorrow. I think that you're probably going to wait. But I think you're going to notice it. I think you're going to notice what's going on here because it's been brought to the front, right? The forefront of your mind. Tell me about the changes that collective can expect here. What kind of changes? Some of these relationships are just going to remain an unfinished business because you can't make a decision. You can't make a decision about what to do. They don't make you feel good, but you don't want the repercussions of letting them go or cutting them loose. Got the Seven of Cups. The changes are going to be overwhelming. Yeah, because it's all about the heart space, right? I feel like you're someone who deals with a lot of stuff in the heart space. You could have a lot of water energy. We have the King of Wands, Seven of Cups. There's going to be changes in... Just listening. Feels like the change is that we need, there are some connections here. The big change is that you're just going to disconnect yourself from the King of Wands. So I don't think the King of Wands is one person. I think it's just people who have this sort of characteristic of someone who doesn't really have heart space for you, someone who is very passionate or flirty, someone who is always chasing passion. The Seven of Cups tells me it could be heart space related, that, maybe this is someone that you're sort of on again, off again with. The King of Wands is going to give a little more stability, but they're always going to serve the self, right? They're always a little bit egoic. And the Five of Pentacles tells me that you're cutting these people. These ones who just travel in wands, you're not about it. No. You're interested more in someone who's like you, very balanced, right? All the queens. Yep. Balanced in your cups, your swords, your wands, and your pentacles. I think this is what you're learning. Yeah, in the near future. You're learning that you're not only the Empress, but you are fully becoming aware of your worth. And you're not just going to share it with just anyone that comes by. Tell me about these decisions. Eight of Swords. It's going to be hard for you to make some of these decisions because you've known some of these people for a really long time and some of them supported you through hard times. But I feel like with the Knight of Swords here, you really got to start making some cuts because it almost feels like you can't make a decision about these people because they are part of a chapter. They're part of a chapter, and you know that if you close the door on these people, you close the door on that chapter. But I think that's what Venus retrograde is about, closing the old chapters. Why do you need to have courage? You got to be courage for the things that come at you that you don't see, that are concealed from you. The liars, the ones who are keeping things from you. I think that things are going to be revealed to you during this process. People are going to show you who they are because you didn't listen to them the first time. And I feel like there's going to be some things revealed to you. You're going to have to be courageous because things that were hiding or people that were lying to you, I think that it's not going to be a surprise. I feel like once you start doing this purge, that it's going to be, oh, okay, I figured that one out before, but now it's going to be revealed to you because you're courageous enough to go for the answer. Yeah, you're closing it here. You're closing off a lot of these relationships that are just not, that are just not of any use for you anymore. It's almost like they come to you and they want to use you, but they're never there for you when you need them. But I don't think that you really need them, because you are the Empress. And I'm not saying cut everybody off if you're the Empress. I'm saying if you're the Empress, you're in a certain energy. And if you're around people who are negative and who aren't balanced like the Empress, then those people are not your people. They can't come to you. They can't have the privilege of coming with the Empress to that level when they haven't done all their levels of work. And I think this is what you're realizing. And I think that you're really quiet about, going inward, trying to ask the universe. Because you are manifesting all of this. I feel like this is a period for you to time to clean things up. Yeah. 3 of Wands. What's the ships coming in? Oh, look at that. People coming back. I'm going to say people because it's going to be a while, right? We're going for a couple of months here. So it looks like you're going to be faced with situations where you're going to have to make decisions, big decisions, about what you're going to do next. Are you going to close off to them? Are you going to shut it down, not talk to them anymore? Or are you going to transform the situation and reinvest in these people? It really is up to you. You get to do whatever you want. You're the Queen of Wands. You make your own life. You go for what you want. You leave behind what you don't want. She's non-apologetic. She's been through a lot of stuff. I say she because it's a woman, but please know we're talking about masculine and feminine energies both, because she holds both. And, the masculine energy is fire. So she does have a harder masculine energy, but, she's a go-getter. She knows what she wants. I feel like it's going to bring you to a place of balance. But I feel like this is going to be a process. It's going to take a long time, probably even a couple of months. And for some of you, you're already in that process, really starting to rethink, do I have to close the door on this one? Do it all in kindness. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to cause a little bit of loneliness in the transition, but you know what? All change does when you're trying to change things. Could be dealing with Cancer or Pisces, by the way. I think I did say that this is Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo. We've got the Empress here, who is Taurus and Libra. We've got Aries, King, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. Yep. All right. I'm going to go for now. Thanks for viewing this video. I appreciate you. If you made it up to here, I will be back. Because why? I always come back. You guys make me want to come back. Thanks so much for that. Love you guys. I'm out. Bye-bye.